Greenpeace stops accepting Bitcoin donation, cites high energy use. Friends of the Earth is reported to be reviewing the situation as well. Elon Musk's energy FUD has entered a new realm as it is now convincing nonprofit agencies, yes, that's right, small companies with very little power, certainly not governments, are now deciding on their own that they shouldn't accept Bitcoin, the currency of the future, the currency that could very well fund their organizations for decades, if not hundreds of years to come, are being scared away by energy FUD. Josh Shigala, your thoughts on Elon Musk's energy FUD now convincing legitimate organizations, specifically small organizations, that they should not accept Bitcoin?
Man, Greenpeace, please don't be fools. The oceans are dying. We need you. We need you to accept good, real money that's not nonsense fiat crap. You should be holding Bitcoin. You should be holding bullion. You should be getting out of fiat. Don't hold that crap. And I mean, I see some of the clips. I saw some guy from Greenpeace say, going after and rescuing seals recently, just running after fields of seals that were just covered in fishing line, and it was all cutting into them, and they'd capture them, cut the stuff loose, and they'd run it. Amazing work, really good stuff. Guys, this is nonsense. Please accept Bitcoin. Don't not take it because of this FUD. It's just nonsense. Bitcoin helps us find greener energy. It accelerates the green energy, the clean energy. It accelerates that. Stop this nonsense.
Martine Wishmayer.
Yeah, I think it's been, Greenpeace, as a kid when I was growing up, they were doing a lot of things. I haven't heard much about them over recent years. And in the 90s, they had this financial scandal where they were, investing donated funds and were playing financial markets. And I think especially Bitcoin would bring some transparency to this organization. It would help them, make proof, the funds trackable using the blockchain. And it would show people who donated that their funds are spent wisely instead of being played on the stock market somewhere and then lost because they lost millions in those financial scandals. And they also had a problem with reorganization where they basically got rid of headquarters and everything was done locally. So I think for organizations like Greenpeace, it's really important to bring back this trust or win back this trust from your subscribers or your members or people who donate. And the blockchain is a tool to do that. It's a third party or triple entry ledger, and people will be able to see that, yes, my funds are still there. Oh, they got spent, and then they can show the people that where they spend it on. And I think this is really important, especially in current times that they need to work on the transparency. Otherwise, they lose their trust from the people. And they had, it's not the only scandal. They had a bunch of scandals. So I think even though the people working at Greenpeace do very good work, the organization itself is not without its problems. So I think it's very important for them to keep accepting cryptocurrencies, to work on the transparency. And that's just all I have to say about it. I think it's stupid, it's short-sighted what they've done. And Friends of the Earth, I've never heard of. Sorry, maybe it's big in the US or something, but I don't know. I think they're similar in that respect to Greenpeace. But, when I was young, Greenpeace was they were the warriors fighting against nuclear energy. But now they're actually promoting nuclear energy, saying that, yes, it's good, less carbon emissions. I mean,
Yeah, it's
really?
full of full-on lefty types as well that just wanted
And
more
so
government and more control.
I didn't hear about green GPs for at least 10 years, but until they stopped accepting Bitcoin. I didn't even know they accepted Bitcoin, but I'm thankful, like, they should get their act together. Think about it. Think about the transparency and winning back the trust of the people, basically. And blockchain is a good tool to do that. So I hope they change their mind.
Oh, regardless of the goals of the agency, I think this is the true cost of the Elon Musk FUD. Elon Musk, through scaring people with the energy cost of Bitcoin, trying to protect his company Tesla, has scared off legitimate organizations who are small and who would benefit from Bitcoin. Larger organizations, it doesn't really matter. They're already well funded. But if you're a small organization, this is your chance to accept a currency that could actually help your organization. So it's really unfortunate that this energy FUD continues. Just last week, I think Galaxy Digital released a report where they did what everyone's been asking for. They compared Bitcoin energy use to the energy use of the banks and of the gold bullion industry, and found that Bitcoin used less than either of them. Yes, less than either one. And they found, once again, as we've been saying, Bitcoin uses less energy than always on devices. So devices like your PlayStation that stays on, your DVD player, your Blu-ray player that stays on, your television that never really turns off, all of that extra energy, more than Bitcoin. So
Your
Greenpeace
Tesla that never turns off, by the way, also. I mean, I want to say that I have a Tesla. I love my Tesla.
and all these things never turn off, and they use
never turns
more
off.
than
It's
Bitcoin.
always on.
And we get so much more than Bitcoin. We get a chance for this agency to accept donations anywhere in the world, no censorship, none of this, like, you're not accepting this. Or remember when PayPal and the credit card companies turned off WikiLeaks? That's one of the reasons a lot of us are here, because of the WikiLeaks organization got so much press for Bitcoin, as well as when they thought about taking it, when the EFF thought about taking it, when they stopped taking it. Imagine if the EFF had just held a bunch of Bitcoins. They could have not taken it, but they could have held the ones they had. Wired Magazine had a bunch of Bitcoins. And again, this just keeps happening. These short-sighted organizations, and to see it from Greenpeace, which is supposed to be thinking about the environment, supposed to be thinking about 1,000 years or 100 years. Bitcoin is here to stay. You could save the environment more with Bitcoin. Let's move on to the exit question. Other organizations that should have held their Bitcoin include the United States government. Should the United States government have held their Bitcoin and built 50 Smithsonian museums, one in each of the American states? 50 states, 50 museums. Martin Wishmayer, should the United States have held their Bitcoin and built this incredible chain of museums?
I'm not exactly sure how many Bitcoin they had, but they confiscated quite a large number of Bitcoin. So I think it would have prevented the whole money printing disaster that that happened over the past year. So yes, they should definitely have kept it. And I think from all the countries in the world, Bulgaria is one of the countries with most Bitcoin. I think it's because of the OneCoin scam or something, or another Ponzi they rounded up at the time, but they have a huge number of Bitcoin. I'm not sure if they sold it or not, but if they haven't, then it solves all the problems. So I think it's wise for governments to hang on to the Bitcoin. Unfortunately, what we see is they either sell it off by auction, or in the Netherlands, if they confiscate Bitcoin, they immediately sell the Bitcoins. They just sell them immediately the same day for fiat. And even if the person whose Bitcoins are confiscated is deemed innocent at a later stage, they don't get the Bitcoin back. They just get part back what in fiat. So they're screwed anyway, even if you're innocent. So no, always hold on to those Bitcoin, whether you're a government or whether you're just stacking sets from home.